What's a fictional character that gave you unexpected gender envy?
Am I any anime man ever?
Right?
Yeah, no, that's a hard one. I think I've known for so long that it was actually really funny when I was talking to my therapist about it. Like after I came out, I was kind of like, I thought I was bi for a really long time. And I was like, I don't think I'm bi. Like, I think I'm just like, I can enjoy the male figure. But it doesn't really have anything to do with me being sexually attracted to anybody.
Right.
It was more wanting to be them than attracted to them.
For sure.
Yeah, I get that. That's how I felt for the longest time. Because the lesbian label never felt right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm just bisexual then. Like, I'll just settle for that. But then realizing I was like non-binary transmasc, I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense now.
Oh, that feels better.
Yeah.
The missing piece. Who's yours, August? Who do you have for a fictional character?
Fictional character? Honestly, so many of them. Ben 10.
Mhm.
It's kind of weird. You know that fish from Finding Nemo with the scar?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, him.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very mask.
Yeah. I thought he was the coolest fucking fish in the world, bro. And Dipper from Gravity Falls, but he's transcoded to begin with, so.
Yeah. I don't know. Mine would be TJ from Recess. You know who that is?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And then all of the kids from Rocket Power, like all of the dudes.
Yes.
You
Yep.
know what that is?
Yep. So
No,
I am that old, yes.
I guess me too. Then yeah, me too.
Did you guys ever watch Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends?
Yep.
Mac?
Kind of, not
That's
too
his
much.
name, right, little boy?
I could see that.
Yeah. But I just thought having imaginary friends was like that show was the coolest show to begin with. Like maybe it was just that too.
It's a good possibility.
Did y'all have a map growing up?
I don't think I did.
I don't think I did either.
Oh yeah, me neither.
Now we have to know how many imaginary friends you had.
I only had one, and it was based off of that movie, Blade, and the Matrix guy.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Matrix movie. August is too young again, I guess.
Sorry.
Welcome to Two Guys Unfiltered, a podcast where we let LGBTQ people like you share their story, the funny ones, the hard ones, and everything in between. I'm Juju.
And I'm August. So whether you're part of the community or just here to listen, we're glad you're here. Our guest today is Gray. He talked about his transition story and how his thoughts on masculinity and the patriarchy have molded him into the man he is. We want to know from you guys, what are your thoughts on masculinity and patriarchy as a whole? What are some ways you dismantled toxic masculinity in your everyday life? Now let's get into it. All right. Quiet on set, because Juju likes when I say that. Cora, specifically talking to you. All right, great. If you can you give us an introduction of who you are?
Yeah, for sure. My name's Gray. I am 35 years old. I am a hobby collector. I do a lot of stuff. I game, I do photography. I just started 3D printing, I tattoo. I mean, I'm just somebody who likes to live my life and just try new things and have new experiences. But I guess that's the best rundown I could give you from me, well, about me right away.
I love seeing the TikToks of people creating like such niche things in their house with a 3D printer. And I'm like, see, this is why I need a 3D printer. But like, I know I'll never use it to its full potential.
Right.
Yes. My wife is like, I need you to invent this very specific like cat litter scoop, and I'm like, all right, I'll work on that once I figure it out.
Yeah.
And then if you want to just give us a summary of your coming out story, as far as like when you came out, things like that.
Yeah, it was actually about 4 years ago. Um, I had just had Bell's palsy. If you don't know what it is, it's a super weird thing where half your face just basically paralyzes.
Oh,
Uh, and I work in the tech field, so not being able to look at a computer screen, I kind of had a lot of time to just sit there and think, really. And one of the biggest things that I thought about was at the time I was with my ex, and we were just like not connecting. And I was like, what is it that's really just not working for us? Um, and then I was kind of like, I think I'm just like not, I don't have the parts that I feel like I should have. Like, I didn't really like to be touched in certain places. I wasn't like a very touchy feely kind of thing. I always hated my chest. Um, and so I finally, sat her down and I was like, I've thought it before, but I just never really said it out loud. And I was like, I don't think I have the right parts. Like, I don't think I'm in the right body. And she was just super supportive of it. And then everything happened very quickly after that. I think it was March when I told her. And then I told my therapist right away, told my grandmother right away, which she was super supportive. I don't know what it was. She called me and was like, something's wrong. And I was like, well, nothing's wrong. Like, I made a big life decision, but like, nothing's wrong. And she goes, if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. And then I had this whole plan of like, these are the people I'm going to tell before I start doing anything. And then, I figured I'd have to go to the doctor. The doctor was going to have to refer me to some place to start hormone therapy. So I was like, I definitely have like 2 months to tell people. And then my doctor prescribed the testosterone like immediately. So that same day I had the tea and I was like, well, that just messed up my entire plans on how I was going to come out to everybody. And so I had to make a lot of quick phone calls, like back to back to back, which was very overwhelming because people are just asking you questions. I'm like, I don't even know the answers yet. I can't help you with that. And then after I told everybody that I wanted to have that conversation with, then I kind of just made a Facebook video, told everybody else. And I'm actually really lucky. Like, I had really good reactions from a lot of people. There was one friend who, super religious, kind of was like, I can't support you in this. And I was like, okay, that sucks. We've been friends since high school, but I get it. And my dad was a little bit weird about it. But other than that, like, I had a really positive experience. Everybody was just really like, how do I work with this? Like, can I ask you questions? Um, and that's just really how the whole coming out story happened for me.
you're better than me. I wouldn't have let anybody know. If I got tea the same day, I'd be like, shoot it up, call it a day.
I think I had established a really good foundation, I think, with a lot of people. And I think for myself, just I don't know what it is with me. People like to just tell me stuff all the time and like big stuff. And I can't not reciprocate this for some of you people, especially when I know you're going to be supportive. So I just felt like myself, I needed to just do it before I started the tea. And then I think I started the tea maybe 2 days after I had all of those conversations. So it was really quick.
Yeah, that must have been very draining, though, to answer that many questions from that many people.
Oh, for sure. I was very tired for like 6 months.
I bet.
I do have a lot of like more conservative people in my life. And they were the ones who had like the biggest questions. Um, and I remember having a conversation like probably a year afterwards with some of those friends and just being like, what made you like feel more comfortable? Because this is not something that's in your realm, really. And they were like, just honestly, like, you were willing to answer the questions and like have a discussion about it and not get really defensive if I messed up. Your pronouns or your name or anything like that. And I actually had a really good conversation with my grandmother too, because so I live in Colorado. I'm in Denver. She lives in Pueblo, which is south. So she's old. She's like 89. She has COPD. She doesn't drive herself anymore, but she'll come up for like Christmas or holidays, and somebody will go pick her up, and then like I'll take her back. But we spent that entire 2.5 hour drive just talking about it all the time. And, what changes are you going through? And like, what does this mean? And, you know, I heard this kind of experience from somebody. Is that like what you usually hear? And she told me, she's like, I think the best thing I've ever done was just have those conversations with you on those drives, because I would have never known. Like, yes, I would have accepted you. Yes, I would have loved you all the same, but I've learned so much from you, just from you not getting mad at me for misgendering you or getting the wrong name or taking time to adjust. And that was just a really big thing, but it was very, very draining for a very long time, for sure. Especially when you're still trying to figure out the answers yourself, right? Because
Right.
I mean, I did some research, but like you just don't know everything that's going to go into it.
Yeah, like you kind of have to experience it yourself to truly understand what it all means.
Right. And everybody's experience is different. Everybody's timetable is different on facial hair and, things like that. Um, Another really cool part about my experience that is kind of unique is I came out, and then 6 months later, one of my cousins came out.
Oh wow.
And she was going male to female. So we kind of had this like conversation where we'd be like, oh, my skin is so oily. And she'd be like, my skin has never been drier, ever. And then to be like, ooh, I like have like baby hairs on my face. And then like, I think I saw her maybe like 6 months after she started hormones. And I'm like, oh my God, your boobs are like bigger than mine. What is this? Like, where did that come from? But that was like such a cool experience to go through with somebody, and it be reversed, and then just kind of like, hey, like, I'm kind of smelling really funky. Like, what did you use before you started transitioning? So that was a really cool experience I got to have.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, kind of like flip everything and be like, hey, what do I do in this situation? What do I do in this situation?
Yep, it was definitely unique. I loved it. And then we actually had another cousin come out like a year after that. So we have a weird, like, it's a big family. It's giant. But so my grandma's like one of 8 children, and
Okay.
each one of those individual families has somebody who's LGBTQIA plus.
I love
We
that.
have
So like no one can escape it.
no, like we have one of her brothers. 2 of his 3 children are gay. And then there's 4 of them who definitely have transgender people. I was actually not the first transgender person. I just didn't know about it for a
Same.
really long time. But yeah, there's every single one of them has somebody. So like my family is used to it.
That's really cool. I have 2 trans mass cousins. One of them has been here. Shout out to Evelyn. The other one is a lot older, and I feel like he did kind of set like the foreground for us. I
Mhm.
only knew that he was trans. Like we didn't. He wasn't super close. He's like my second cousin. Um,
Right.
but I feel like COVID has really put a strain on how connected my family used to be. Like we used
Right.
to see each other like the whole big extended family used to see each other like every 3 months. Now it's like once in a blue moon type deal.
Hmm.
But whenever I'm around his aunts, which was like my great aunts, because the whole timeline, that's a whole story
Yeah.
in itself.
Right.
Um, but he really like set the foreground, and it's awesome because all of my like aunts, like they're technically my mom's aunts. Again, timeline's all fucked up. Um, but they have never misgendered me. They've always used the correct name, and so it's so awesome to see that his influence has spread across the whole family. And
Yes.
so like it's made my interactions with them so much easier and less anxiety inducing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. The one who had transitioned way before me, and this is like I was probably a kid when he transitioned, and I didn't know about it for a really long time. Unfortunately, that wasn't a good experience for him. Like, his parents basically disowned him. He went off to California, or no, he went to New York and became like a lawyer and all kinds of cool crap. Like, he's super awesome, but like I was really like the first who like confronted it in the family. But I remember my cousin, she was having a hard time with her dad, and I kind of just took him aside and I was like, look, it is a really stressful process, and I don't want you to like be an asshole to her about it, basically. So like, if you have questions and you don't know if they're offensive, like, you are welcome to ask me first, but like, don't make it worse for her, because it's already a really hard thing to do. You know, you already kind of have to face the facts of like, you're going to lose people, but then for them, the people who are around to still kind of be like assholes about it, like, I don't want that for her. I want her to have a better experience. So, and then the cousin who came out after that, we kind of had the same conversation with her parents. Like, if you have questions, like, you could come to us if you don't know if you're saying it right, because I can handle it now, but like, don't make it harder for her.
Yeah, especially like early on in your transition when you're still kind of on the edge of like accepting yourself and hearing those like negative questions, and you're like, wait, I just started this label, like I don't know all of the answers.
Right. Yep. It's a whole thing. And I think that's something people don't really understand, is like, they're like, okay, you're going to jump in, you're going to know all the facts. And I'm like, I don't know all of the facts.
Yeah.
Let me get back to you. Give me 3 to 5 business days, please.
Right.
But then also, like, what can be the answer for you is not going to be the answer for like the other two people. So like, they
Them.
can ask you a certain
Right.
way, and then you have a thought on it, and they have a completely different thought on it. So there's
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
for sure. And they're both going male to female. So like, my experience is completely different, people. Like 110% different.
And in regard to hormones or starting hormones, what's something someone should have warned you about but didn't?
The ass hair.
Again with the ass hair.
It just comes so fast and out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I always like to tell people, I'm like, I listen to all of my like cis female friends complain about like streaks in their man's underwear, and like, they don't get it. Like, it's hard to clean that shit. Literally. It's
Literally
hard to
shit.
clean that shit. Literal shit. Just recently, well, you guys know, just recently I had like a little bout in the hospital, and I had been telling my wife that for a while, and man, she had to help me. She's like, you weren't kidding. And I was like, I know.
You gotta
just
keep going and going. And then once you think it's done, nope.
Nope.
There's a stray little hair that has all of it.
Yep. All the wet wipes, all the dude wipes, and like, it's just a whole thing. Whole thing.
Yeah. We really need that ass hair sticker now.
Oh yeah.
That too. Yeah.
I'll buy it. I'll be one of the first ones.
Hey.
No, I think I was really prepared for a lot of the changes. I like went and found like medical documentation of like, hey, you're gonna be experiencing this, this, and this. I think another one that really kind of surprised me, and it's so weird, I got very validated in a Facebook group because somebody's like, what was the weirdest thing that happened to you in like a transition? And somebody was like, how much stupider I got. And I'm like, that is like a thing. Like, there are no thoughts sometimes up there. There's another thing I told some of like my more conservative friends. Like, so let me put it to you this way. So, when you ask your boyfriend or your husband like what he's thinking, and he says nothing, and you're getting frustrated because you can't imagine like your brain not constantly running. So you're getting frustrated because he's not telling you what's on his mind, but he is telling you what's on his mind, and he's getting frustrated because you're like not believing him. Like, that's a real thing. Like, I could just like turn off my brain.
Lucky.
There's nothing up there, man. Oh man. But yeah, I was like, yeah, there's just And like, I don't think things through logically sometimes. I was just watching an anime with my wife, and I was like, I can't even tell you how long it took for me to realize what the title of that anime meant in the show. And it's like very, very obvious what it means, and it just like didn't click. It's just not there anymore.
That's interesting. I never thought about that because, like August said, like my mind's just still always going, 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 going. But it's with different
Yeah.
things. Like it's not so much like so much anxiety like it was before. It's more of just like, oh, I
Mm,
should do this, or oh, I should start this. Oh, I should do this. Oh, what about the podcast? So it's like it's constantly just go, go.
ADHD brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. The anxiety went way down for me too.
Yeah.
That was like, it's like, I did not know this kind of world could exist where I'm not anxious about every single thing that's going on in my life.
I love that for you, though. I'm glad you got to that point.
Yeah, my family's ADHD. Like, I'm literally the only person in my house who's not. And so, like, a conversation going on in this house, I explained it the other day. I was like, it was 3 different people having 7 different conversations at the same time. And that wasn't even including what I was trying to listen to at work.
Mm.
Like, and I can't multitask to save my life anymore either. So, like, those
And
days are
that's
behind
another
me.
dude thing I've heard too, though. Like
Mhm.
women are able to multitask and men can't.
Uh-huh. Yep, it's a very true statement for me. I can no longer focus on multiple things. It would be really helpful some days, though.
Oh yeah. And I know you said that it has relatively been pretty easy, but there anything a part of your transition that has been the hardest?
I think the hardest, and kind of like you actually said it earlier, was kind of like the label lesbian, right?
Mm,
I definitely had a lot of lesbian friends. I still have a lot of lesbian friends, but I think something that happened very quickly after I started transitioning was realizing that I don't necessarily fit in with them anymore.
mhm,
Like, my personal experience, I would, I'd sit down at a potluck with everybody, and then like one woman would start talking shit about men, and then it was just like progressively just like everybody's talking shit about men. And I'm like, well, that's cool, guys. Don't know what to tell you. But that was a really big shift. It was just not really knowing where your place is anymore because you just don't have the same labels you used to, right? So I struggled with that for a bit. And then also being like, well, I don't really like fit in with cis men either.
mhm,
I mean, I do, but like I don't. And so I had to make it a point to really seek out transgender men as friends. And I found a couple of cool ones. I got my buddy Sebastian, my buddy Cole, my buddy Cameron. They're awesome. Um, but it was really hard to find that. Like I went to some group therapy sessions or just like trans mass groups, and I ended up finding these guys just on like a Facebook group searching for buddies. But we would hang out, we still do hang out like once a month or a couple times a month and just like go be little boys. Let's go to
mhm.
arcades. Like, let's go just eat a bunch of food. Let's go to buffets. Let's just go like do all the things like teenage boys used to do, but we're not like teenage boys anymore. But, just do stuff like that. That was probably the hardest and took the longest for me to do, was just to find that little niche and then also just kind of still maintain my friendships, but kind of swap them around. So it was more beneficial to myself and finding that area that is comfortable for me rather than just being somewhere where everybody's talking shit about men and I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs.
Awkward and like the plot is about me.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, and I think like as trans men, we do obviously benefit from the patriarchy. Not like everybody, but like majority of trans men
Oh, for
do. So
sure.
it's like our responsibility then to like, because now we're in men's spaces, is to like call out the toxic masculinity or understand that like when women are saying, hey, like it's all men, like that includes you too. And it's like, yeah, because I still owe it to everybody to end like what's going on
Right.
with men in society. So
Yeah.
it's hard to like
Yeah,
accept it
definitely.
because You want to be like I'm a good guy, but then you don't want to say that because that sounds terrible. So it's hard to
Right.
navigate.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like somebody giving themselves the title of woke.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the good guy. No,
Yeah.
like, really, I'm a good guy. Yeah,
Right.
but no, yeah, it's difficult. And then there's also like the reverse where you like are in these situations. I remember, again, I was like still with my ex at this time. Like, we broke up probably like 4 or 5 months after I came out, and it's fine. We're amicable. We're still friends. But I remember she was dating somebody else. And I had known that this person was like flirting with her while we were still together. And I had brought it up to some mutual friends. And they're like, oh, but she's like that with everybody. And I was like, if that was like a man, like, would you be saying the same shit?
Right.
Because if it was a man, you'd be talking about how toxic he is and like how he doesn't like keep to boundaries and stuff like that. And you're just like, she gets a pass because she's a lesbian. Like, come on, guys. Like, if you're gonna label people, like, you need to like make sure you're not being hypocrites either. So
Mhm.
those are also like really hard conversations to have, just from a guy's point of view.
Yeah, the whole like men conversation of like, yes, all men, right? Because it's most men, therefore all men. It's
Right.
so it's so difficult though because me personally, right? I identify as non-binary trans mass. Like I just tell people like I'm a dude just to make it easier. But
Mhm.
then in my head, it doesn't make it easier for me because yes, I look like a dude. Like the world is going to perceive me as a dude. But in my heart and in my brain, I don't feel like a dude. But then I have all the men privilege that comes with being a man. But it's like,
Right.
but I'm non-binary. So it's just there's a jumble all the fucking time.
It's hard.
And
Yeah.
it's
All
so
the time.
stressful. Yeah.
It's super hard. And then also like to have that once you are perceived as a man, like once you are passing, I think it's funny but not funny, but like it's almost validating, but then you're like, ah, that's a shitty way to be validated. Is like women don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
Like kids don't want to come up to you and ask a question, and you're like, well, at least I'm passing, I guess. But like, how shitty is that? That's like how men are looked at, is like just unsafe.
Right.
Because I used to be somebody previously. I mean, I still am with people who know me, but like, I would go out to a store and people would just talk to me. Just tell me stuff, just have conversations with me, and I'm like, okay, that's weird, but all right. And now it's like, oh, people like leave me alone. This is different. I don't know if I like it, but it's different for sure.
I miss being able to compliment people. Like
Mhm.
if I see someone having a cool outfit, like I wish I can say like, hey, I like your outfit without it coming as a perv. But I'm like,
Right,
no, like I genuinely just like how your hair looks today. But it's like, oh, a man wouldn't do that, so I can't do it.
right. That's why I like going out with my wife. She could do it.
Right. There you go.
Hey, babe,
You're
just
can you
go
compliment the
tell that
girl?
person
Yeah.
their hat is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's too introvert for that though. So
Mine is very, very loud. And like she's an introvert, but like she can pass as an extrovert. She
Mhm.
talks loud. My son's the same exact way. Like we're just loud people. Well, they're loud people. I'm pretty quiet. But they get all of the attention. And so I'm like, y'all get the attention, but like, hey, can you just like tell them that I like their shirt or that you like their shirt and we'll just pretend it was me or something? Because
Yeah.
they
I
should know
love
it's a
that.
cool shirt.
Breaking news!
Joining several states across the US, Idaho House has just passed a bill that would ban trans people from public bathrooms, with a second offense felony carrying up to 5 years of prison. This bill would classify a transgender person's use of a public restroom alongside offenses like voyeurism and indecent exposure.
So some positive news out of California this week. A new healthcare clinic for transgender people has opened in Los Angeles at the Connie Norman Transgender Empowerment Center. The clinic will offer services such as HIV and STI testing and general health support. It is also run in partnership with the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. Organizers say the goal is to provide a safe, welcoming space for care especially as access to transgender healthcare becomes increasingly uncertain in parts of the United States.
In more positive news, not only is New York City celebrating the first ever Mayor's Office of LGBTQIA affairs, but also the appointment of the first ever trans director to lead it. The office will oversee city initiatives that concern LGBTQ New Yorkers, advance anti-discrimination measures, and reinforce sanctuary protections for LGBTQ people. In a news press, Mamdani stated, New York City is proud of its LGBTQIA community and will refuse to deny healthcare, safety, or dignity to anyone on the basis of their identity. With Taylor Brown as director of the new Office of LGBTQIA affairs, the city's queer community will not only be celebrated, but protected at every turn. If you want to read more into these stories, the links to the articles will be in the description below. So on the flip side then, what would you say has been the most joyful part of your transition?
Ooh, top surgery, 110%. That was like one of my best friends for like 20 something years now. Like when I told her, she was like, oh, that's cool. You know, she goes, oh, wait, are you going to chop your boobs off? And I was like, yes. And she's like, you've been wanting that since you like got them when we were teenagers. And I was like, I know. And so that was a really exciting moment for me. That happened almost 2 years ago now.
Yay,
Yeah, about
congrats.
2 years ago.
Thanks, yeah.
But it makes like the shirts look better. I mean, we talked about binders. Binders are rough on your lungs for sure. And I'm going to be super honest. I don't even know why I own shirts. I work from home. I never wear a shirt. I like have a shirt on my desk to put it on when I have a meeting. And that's about it. I don't even need all the shirts I have in my closet because I just walk around without a shirt all the time. And I'm about to start getting my chest piece. So
nice. What are you getting?
Tattooed. So I'm going to do like a whole like anime theme.
Okay.
But the first step, I'm going to do like a Gyarados, like right in between my pecs. And then where the scars are, it's going to be like Japanese waves. So like he's kind of like breaking through.
That's cool.
So I'm going to get that actually started next week. So I'm super stoked about that.
What anime?
We'll just do Pokemon for now. And then
Okay.
I want to kind of move into like Full Metal Alchemist is one of my favorites. I have an Assassin's Creed tattoo already. Just all kinds of different ones I like. Dragon Ball Z's on the list. Demon Slayer is a big one for me and my family right now. So I'm just like slowly gonna patch in. I also want like different tattoo styles. I don't want it to just be one artist doing it. So I'm gonna be doing different tattoo artists to get it done.
And then what misconceptions do you think people have about trans men?
Well, that we're unsafe. I think like I hate to say it, I think trans women get it a lot worse than us.
Most
I really
definitely.
do. Like, I don't really hear a lot of people talking crap about trans men on a regular basis. I hear a lot of people talking crap about like trans women, and like, you know, the bathroom debate is like such a big one. And I always like to bring it up to people. I'm like, what do you think we're doing in there? Like, I just like, I'm curious to know what you think I'm doing in the bathroom. And it's always like, well, I don't want a man to dress up as a woman to go in there and hurt people and blah, 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 blah. And like, you know, they go on their rant. And I'm like, I don't think you understand what like going to a public restroom is for like a trans person, right?
Yeah.
Like from the second we're walking into an establishment, you're looking around, you're like, do these people look safe? Like, are there American flags, unfortunately? Or, you know, do you see people who have Confederate flag shirts on or something like that? And then when we go to the bathroom, we're so scared about us being in the bathroom. Like, we're probably more afraid than you are of going to a bathroom. But I don't see a lot of that being pointed towards trans men. I think I honestly, I can't even recall a single thing that's been said about a trans man to me. Even when people are talking shit about men, it's like, but not you, like you're different. like trans men are different. Like we're just talking about cis men. That's not what's happening here. So I can't think of one. Which one? What have you guys heard?
I think I agree with you. Like, I haven't heard. I guess no, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have like a specific one for like trans men. No, the only thing I can think of is for trans women.
Yeah.
It's the one that comes across the most.
And yeah, and like going back to that whole bathroom thing of like, oh, I don't want a man pretending to be a woman to go into the women's restroom. It's like, okay, so key word there was a man pretending to be a woman. Trans men are
Right.
not men pretending to be a woman. They are a woman. So like
Right.
back to the idea that men are the fucking problem,
Oh yeah.
not trans people.
Oh, for sure. I think we should just get rid of like the men's restroom and make it a transgender bathroom. Then really like the source of the problem can go figure it out and everybody else is safe. Just saying.
Kind of having like a summary of like growing up, being raised as a girl, to then transitioning, eventually being perceived and labeled as a man. Do you feel like your role and how people have treated you in society has changed?
Definitely the way that other people perceive me. Like it's kind of interesting. I've had quite a few friends for more than 15, 20 years. And it's really interesting to hear those people just kind of be like, I forget you don't have a dick. Like I legitimately like we kind of went into it like you were always a little bit more of a tomboy, but like it just was such a natural lean into it that like sometimes I just genuinely forget. And like yes, it was hard to get the name right and the pronouns, but it was just so natural. But when people who don't know, like a very good example I have is like I work in IT. I work from home. Everything is done through Microsoft Teams. And somebody was reaching out to me and they're like, "Well, this like ID is on this. Like I don't know who that person is." And I go, "That's my ID, but it has my old like dead name initials. I changed my first name, my last name. So like it really doesn't look anything like what my name is now." And I was like, "Well, that's me. That was my dead name." And for her to be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I just didn't know." And I'm like, "You don't have to apologize. Like that just means I'm passing really well if you like couldn't even tell." But for people to recognize that and just like treat me like a dude is such a great feeling. I mean, it's I think something I remember telling my aunt like when I came out. She's like, "You told me when you were like 5 you wanted to be a boy." I was like, "Okay, so this is not something that was like short term." And then like as I went on, like some of those memories kind of like came back to finally be in a point where people on the street are just calling me sir. It just feels so natural. And I'm like, this is like, I think what I've always wanted. And I think that's very validating to me. I can't explain the euphoria when you like go into a store and somebody calls you sir. Just like that recognition is like so deep down inside. And then you don't want to look excited. You're like, I don't want to give it away. Like, I'm not gonna look excited. I'm just play it cool. But like, it's something that like hits really deep down inside. And then to also just have people who I've known for so long just be like, it's so natural. Like it flows so well. I almost sometimes forget that I knew you as somebody else for like 15 years, 20 years before this big change. It's a great feeling.
Oh, for
Such
sure.
a great feeling.
I love when they tell me that they forget. And I'm like, good, that was the fucking point.
Yep. It's totally the fucking point. One of my
Yeah.
best reactions. It's a long story, but just we'll basically say my gay ex-boyfriend from high school. Because
Okay.
I was his beard when we were in high school.
Okay.
I remember when I posted my Facebook video, like there was a point where he was kind of like, I'm in love with you. And I'm like, nah, you're gay. This was like in high school, still a woman, all that stuff. And then I came out on Facebook and he put on there like, I knew I was in love with you. I knew it. I was like, okay, that was like the best reaction ever.
Yeah. He won.
He won. Yeah, I understand. You just knew all along and I did not.
I just think back to like my high school boyfriend. I'm like, haha, you have an ex-boyfriend.
I think that about a couple of them for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
And would you say that you feel pressure to now perform like masculinity in certain ways?
I don't think it's like pressure from anybody else. I think sometimes I pressure myself. I mean, I have a wife, I have 2 kids. Well, one's an adult now, but whatever. But I think sometimes there's pressure for me to be like, I take care of everybody else.
Mhm.
And like, I don't necessarily need to have people take care of me. But then I also think of one of my kids. His dad is still in the picture. He's a very toxic dude. Very much like, this is what it's like to be a man and blah, blah, blah. And then just to like he gets a different experience with me. Like one day I think it was like around Christmas. I bought him something that I knew he was going to love. And he had told my wife, he's like, I don't want my reaction to not be enough. And because he's just not a very reactive kid. He's very like cool kid, like not weird, like wants to be the party dude kind of stuff. And he like had a good reaction. Like it was definitely better than what I was expecting. But I also was like, I don't expect anything from you. Like I know how you show that you're excited about something, and then to also have like the conversation of like, I know that you're somebody who really likes brand name stuff. So when I buy you something and it's not necessarily name brand because it's expensive, but I buy you something very similar, like I'm afraid of what your reaction is going to be. And I don't think he's ever had that. And I think that's also something I find with the oldest. He's autistic, ADHD, and just to sit down and have the conversations like, it's okay to be afraid of something. Like it's okay to be worried about something or have anxiety about something. With his autism, he's very afraid to touch the stove. Like when I came into his life, he couldn't even make top ramen. And I was like, I get it. It's okay to have those feelings, but like at some point you're going to have to learn how to do some of this stuff for yourself and to be able to bring that into their lives has been huge, especially my oldest. Like he is a completely different kid from when I met him, 3 years ago. He now has his own scooter and he runs around. He's never going to drive, but he's like, I have a scooter and I could get from point A to point B. Or like for his birthday, we went to a mall and he would be one of those people who would never leave his mom's side ever. And we're like, hey, like, if you want to go walk around, cool. And he took that as like, I'm going to go walk around and not look at my phone. So like there was a little panic moment because I'm like, I don't know where you're at. But like to see that he is comfortable enough to like go out and have those experiences just because somebody can make him feel comfortable and not say, this is what it's like to be a man, or this is what it's like to like you don't get to show emotion. You don't get to cry about something. Like you don't get to be angry about something or upset about something. Like that's not how it works. I think I'm very lucky. And this is something I talk about with my therapist all the time too. Like there's something very lucky about being a transgender person because you get both perspectives. And I think something that's really great for, female to male is that you get the woman experience kind of beforehand where you're talking about your feelings and your emotions and, you kind of get a community that stands behind you while you're talking about that. So then when you do transition, like, like it's not wrong to have those conversations. It's okay to have those conversations. It's okay to be angry about something. Even the other night, like cried into my kid's arms, and he was like, "Oh, okay. Like you have emotions too." Because sometimes he's like, "You don't get angry," and I was like, "I mean, I'm calmer, but like I do get angry. I just don't do outbursts." So I think I put more pressure on myself than anybody else in my life would put on me, and I don't necessarily feel that pressure even when I go out into public. I just am who I am, and anybody I don't know honestly doesn't always matter to me. So,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm most excited about, is being a dad, like being able to be a nurturing dad and
Mhm.
just basic empathy. Like, let's talk about our feelings and not just
Mhm.
suppress them. Let's not give each other the silent treatment when we're upset. Like, just basic communication. I
Right.
can't wait to be able to uh, raise my son, be empathetic and understanding of emotions and not just be like, I'm a man, so I can't cry. Like, no,
Right.
like you're a human. Human have emotions, therefore you can cry.
Yeah. It's great. I grew up in a household where like I mean, even into adulthood, my parents were like, "Don't cry." As a woman, we're still
Same.
telling me like, "Don't
Yeah.
cry." And now to like I think I remember having a conversation with my mom and I like started to tear up and she's like, "Don't cry." And I'm like, "My therapist said this is healthy." Like, don't tell me not to cry. It's a great experience as like a dad. And the eldest, his dad hasn't been around for a really long time. But I actually just legally adopted him at the beginning
Hey,
of this year. So
nice.
like to be able to legally be a dad to somebody and also like just feel that love,
Hmm.
like somebody who just like appreciates you is it's amazing. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, I think that's the next like milestone or, step in my life that I'm like, that itch needs to be scratched now. Like I'm ready for it, I think.
I didn't think I was gonna ever have kids, and then I just fell in love with somebody who had to.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, me
uh,
too, literally.
yep.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I was like, all right, I could make this happen.
Yeah. Like that's her life goal is to be a mom and like be pregnant. And I'm like, crazy concept, but all right, let's go, you know?
Hmm. Hmm. All right, let's do this.
Hmm.
I don't know. For me, it's like the world's crazy. So I don't know. I have a lot of nieces and nephews. Maybe I'll just keep spoiling them or something because this world is crazy. Like we go back and forth, and I'm like, at some point we gotta make a decision. We gotta know like what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We either want kids or we
Yeah,
don't, or adopt kids is a big thing for me too. So like, if neither of us want to bring another kid into the world, there's so many like kids
other
that need
options.
homes. Yeah. So like,
Hmm.
it's in the talks, but it's also like it's a scary world. So I don't know.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was totally okay with being the uncle. That was
Yeah.
like my thing for
Yeah.
sure. And I
Yeah.
always was kind of like, I'm not gonna have biological kids. Like, there's
Mm.
so many health issues in my family. I was like, I don't want to bring a kid into that. Like, come on, like just I think my dad's side alone, it's like cancer. Everybody has cancer.
Mm.
It's such an awful thing, you know. I'm like, I don't want to bring a kid into the world that way. And then to find somebody who already has kids, I'm like, okay. And then like the oldest one specifically, he lives with us. The other one lives with his dad. But the oldest one, if I could have birthed my own child, it would be that kid. Like me and that kid are very, very similar. It is like the craziest thing, but it's such a rewarding thing to go through and just be somebody that can make people feel safe. So, however the world works for you, whichever you decide, you'll be great at whatever you do, even if it's just nieces and nephews.
Hmm.
It's not a bad thing. I have plenty of them.
That's how I was too, because I was like, I only my oldest sister has had kids now, but her her husband is not the best man in the world,
Mhm.
and therefore, his ideals are eventually going to trickle down into their kids.
Right.
So I'm like, I already know the type of ideology that they're going to be around. and it makes me uncomfortable to be around him. So
Mhm.
it's like I need to have my own space and have control of how I want my kids to view the world. Like I know
Yes.
my kids are going to be very polar opposites of all my like siblings' kids. So it's going to be
Mhm.
interesting to see like when my family ages and like their family ages to see like the difference in perspective and morals.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's and I say, like, my nieces and nephews, like, my older sister, she doesn't ever want kids either for a very similar reason. So, like, my nieces and my nephews are my friends' kids, but man, like, they're great. Like, even with the transition, it was really sweet. I went to go visit my friend out of state, and I was gonna stay in my nephew's room, and she was, like, putting sheets on, and they were just regular sheets, and he's like, "No, he needs space sheets because he's a boy now." And I'm like, "Ah, yes, you are doing it right, friend. Like,
Hmm.
that is the way to raise your kid." But, like, it's so interesting to see, like, the different ways people are raised. It's crazy. I just don't understand, and I guess maybe it's just because I am trans, I don't know. I just don't understand raising kids to be hateful.
Yeah. Like my niece is 12, 13 years old. And only like a few months ago has she like started referring to me by my name. And it's like
Wow.
it how are you making her life easier? If anything, you're making it a lot more confusing for her to understand.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that
that's
has
crazy.
been my biggest of like I want my kids to be understanding of all people of all differences and not see people as an other just because they look different or they have, any differences in general.
Different background, a different
Yeah.
anything, yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of masculinity and all that, how do you think your understanding of it has changed?
It's kinda it's so weird, it's more like physical changes, I think is
Hmm.
the big one. Like, masculinity for me, like, on an emotional level has just like, I kinda just had to make it what it is for myself, but, like, there are just some things, like, I remember, like, my body odor changing and stuff like that. That is just, like, stuff you don't really think about
Hmm.
until it happens. So just to like be like, oh, that's not working for me anymore because guess what? Like guy hormones are different and those products specifically, mask certain smells. Um, it's been more about the physical changes a lot. Oily skin, acne was like the worst. That second
Hmm.
puberty was rough. Um, but I think emotionally not much has changed. I've always kind of just had my own opinion of what masculinity is and made it my own. And I've, in a weird way, just kind of accept a lot of people's versions of it. Like it could be what it is to you, but to me, I'm making it look like this. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to stick around.
Right. That part.
Hmm.
And what hopes do you have for the future for yourself and for the trans community?
I mean, I just love my family. Like, I just want my family to be happy and feel supported and safe. Um, it's crazy in the United States right now. Like, just so much stuff is happening. And I just wish people would just leave it alone. Like, it
Hmm.
doesn't have to be a political debate. I wish that transgender people could just feel safe in any space, you know? Um, I'm hoping that this is just a very, very short, in theory,
Right.
um, downfall. I know it's something we've really fought for a really long time in history altogether, but the way it is right now is just not feasible. It's stupid to have debates over bathrooms and IDs and passports. I just want people just to be accepted. That's what I really hope. Like, I just want every person that I know. I have a lot of trans friends. I just want us to feel safe anywhere we go. That's all. It's a big ask, I know.
Right.
Shouldn't be a big ask, but it's a big
You would
ask.
think, right? Yeah. Especially now that that ICE is now given the okay to detain us as well. So
Yep. I think I passed really well, so I'm hoping that it's fine, but
mhm.
you know, I'm also Hispanic. I don't look Hispanic. So
Same, me too.
and then I was born in Germany. Like, I'm a
Oh,
weird mix
interesting.
of like
Okay.
everything. I just keep my head down and do what I can when I can. I'm in Colorado, so I'm feel pretty secure here. There's a
Yeah.
lot of laws that protect us here, so I can't say the same for other states. I actually, like, a week before Kansas went ahead and like revoked everybody's IDs and made the bathroom law, like, I was actually traveling through Kansas
Oh,
both ways. And I was like, oh, I missed that one by a little bit. That's
yeah.
good. But no, Colorado's a really great place. Denver specifically,
Mhm.
for transgender people. Like, I go through UC Health and they have a whole transgender department. Like, that's the only people they deal with.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Nice.
if anybody's looking, come to Colorado.
Expensive though.
It is expensive, but
Very expensive. Yeah.
sometimes safety is worth it, I think.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I love this conversation so much. Every time I feel like our guest has something new to say, and I love it because I'm like, how many more trans men can we talk to? They're just gonna all say the same thing we've been talking about. But it's like, no, like that's not the case, and this has proven that.
Yeah, well, every experience is catered specifically, right? Yeah, it's I think that's one of like the wildest things, like just having conversations with anybody who's transgender, right? Is just the wildly different experiences. Like, one of my friends, she's much older. She's like, I didn't start transitioning until I knew my parents were dead because I knew they wouldn't accept it. She's like, but I remember like in second grade going into a girl's bathroom and getting in trouble for it. And then I have, a cousin who their parents didn't accept them, and other ones who were just having a really hard time. And then I'm like, well, I had like a really easy time. So sorry, guys. I don't
Hmm.
know what else to tell you, but I love having those conversations with people. I love having conversations with any one of my friends who's curious about what changes I'm going through or what that experience is like for me. I think something that's really important for us is to have those open conversations. Um, I think I said it earlier, so many people are like, thank you for not getting mad at me for using the incorrect pronouns or name or whatever. And like, my grandma still messes it up. Like, it's been almost 4 years, but it's getting to a point where like it's when she's talking about past me
Mm,
that she messes it up, not so much like current. So like there's progress still,
yeah.
but I think it's important for us to give people just a little bit of leeway and understand, like, yes, it's hard for us, it's also hard for them.
Hmm.
And a lot of the fear comes from people not understanding what the process is like or what your thoughts were and how you got to this point of like, yeah, I think I need to transition. Um, those conversations, although mentally draining, have been the most beneficial to me. So I like having those conversations. I suggest people, you know, give it a shot whenever they can because you will find some very unlikely allies in those conversations.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to be. But then the way the questions were coming out were rude or passive aggressive. So I'm like, I'm done.
Mhm,
I'm done answering your questions. Like,
Right.
because
mhm.
you're only asking to basically re give me a rebuttal of my identity. It's like, no,
Right,
like this is not an argument. Like it's a discussion, it's a conversation of who I am.
right,
Not
right.
are you really though?
Yeah, it definitely has to be like the people that you're having those conversations with definitely have to be open to hearing what you have to say and not like be
Right.
defensive. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really hard one for everybody is
Yeah.
to not be defensive about what's going on. I do find it really hilarious. The only people, because I do eventually want bottom surgery, but all of my straight cis friends who are more conservatives were like, "Can I see it afterwards?" Like, oh, okay, that's weird, but all right. So my wife and I have decided that we'll have a penis reveal party and do like the penis charcuterie boards and stuff like that.
That's so
And
funny.
one of my gay friends was like, "But it just looks like everybody else's." And I go, "I know, and I'll feel really like a man when I disappoint a lot of people at the same time with my penis. Just get it all out in once."
You could have controlled how big it was, and you chose it to be that small.
Right. I'm just gonna disappoint everybody at once. I'm not gonna do the dick pic thing like I'm a married man. Like I'm just gonna do everybody at once.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
I love that your wife is all for it too.
Oh yeah, she's like, "Can we do like pin the penis on the man?" Like she's like so ready. She's like, "I'm gonna
I
get
love
all
that.
of the things. I'm gonna do the cake." Yeah, I will say I might be a little biased, but my wife's really awesome. She is very, very supportive of all of the things. I actually met her before I started transitioning. So she's been with me through the whole entire ride.
That's awesome.
Same.
Mm.
Did you want to plug your socials?
Yeah, my TikTok is grayed out AF. That is also my Instagram, my Twitch. I don't even know what else I have. I just basically go on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok.
All right, sweet. Then I'll also put it in the description too, so they can follow you.
Sounds good.
So that's a wrap on today's episode of Two Guys Unfiltered. A huge thank you to Gray for sharing his story. If today's episode resonated with you or reminded you of your own, we would love to hear from you. Click the link in the description to fill out the form if you're interested in being our next guest.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with someone who needs it. And if you are listening to us on Spotify, don't forget to check out our YouTube channel as you have been missing out on some bonus content that we have been releasing. For example, us reacting to baby photos of ourselves, us reacting to Reddit reactions. I said reactions already. Anyways, you're missing out on content. Point blank. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.